Salahuddin Ayyubi could not be defeated by war, wine, or women. Chase and mum. When all tricks failed, his enemy sent an assassin from his own guards. One small movement saved his life and changed history.
Salahuddin Ayyubi was not swayed by the allure of beautiful women or the temptation of wine. He despised both. His enemies thought that the only way to take him down was through a direct hit. Going after him head-on was nearly impossible. His guards were always on high alert, and previous attempts to assassinate him had failed. At one point, Salahuddin Ayyubi believed his cousin Al-Salih and Amir Saifuddin had turned over a new leaf after their defeat. However, instead of seeking forgiveness, they were plotting another covert and dangerous scheme. Instead of basking in his victories, Salahuddin kept pushing forward with military campaigns, capturing 3 towns, including the well-known Gaza. One afternoon, while resting in the tent of Amir Chawala Sadi near Gaza, Salahuddin still had his turban on, the same one that shielded him from the scorching sun and enemy blades in battle. Outside the tent, his guards were on duty, but the commander of the bodyguards stepped away for a brief moment. One guard peered through the lowered curtain of the tent and saw Salahuddin lying on his stomach with his eyes shut. He glanced at his fellow guards. Some were distracted, while others had turned away. The guard briefly closed his eyes before reopening them. Quietly, he slipped into the tent. Drawing a dagger from his belt, he crept forward silently. Suddenly, like a leopard pouncing on its prey, he lunged at the sleeping Salahuddin and raised his dagger. In that split second, Salahuddin turned his body. It's unclear where the attacker aimed, whether for his heart or chest, but the dagger only grazed the thick folds of Salahuddin's turban, missing his head by a hair. The turban fell away. Salahuddin sprang up, immediately grasping what was happening. This was not his first brush with assassination. Remaining calm, he seized the attacker and bit down hard on his chin. A loud crack echoed. The attacker's jaw shattered, and he fell back, screaming in agony. The dagger remained lodged in the turban. Salahuddin quickly drew his own dagger. 2 guards rushed into the tent, swords drawn. "Get him alive!" Salahuddin commanded. But instead of following orders, those guards turned on Salahuddin. With just 1 dagger, he defended himself against 2 swords. The skirmish was brief as more bodyguards rushed inside. What Salahuddin witnessed next was shocking. His guards had split into factions, fighting amongst themselves. Unable to distinguish friend from foe, he refrained from joining the chaos. After a while, some guards lay dead, others fled, and many were wounded. The truth came to light. Among his guards were Fidai assassins, trained killers sent to take his life. Only one had entered the tent. But when the situation shifted, others joined the fray. Eventually, the loyal guards grasped the situation, and Salahuddin Ayyubi managed to survive. With his sword's tip at the attacker's neck, Salahuddin demanded, "Who are you? And who sent you?"
He promised to spare the man's life if he spoke the truth. The attacker confessed. He was a Fidai assassin sent by Kumushtakin, the governor of a fortress. So, Wedisi, beginning of the greater story. Before continuing this story, it is important to understand who Salahuddin Ayyubi was. The Muslim world can never forget him. Even the non-Muslim world remembers him with respect. History records his great victories, but rarely mentions the conspiracies against him, especially those planned by his own people. Many tried to trap him through women whose beauty was trained and weaponized to destroy leaders from within. This true historical drama began on March 23, 1159, when Salahuddin Ayyubi was appointed Vizier of Egypt and Commander-in-Chief of the army. He received this position not only because the ruling dynasty was weak, but also because even at a young age he had mastered warfare. strategy and leadership, skills he inherited from a military family. To him, ruling was not about luxury or power. It was about Islam, justice, and the dignity of the Muslim nation. He clearly saw the painful truth. Muslim rulers were divided, morally weak, and lost in luxury. Wine and women had destroyed their character, while the future of Islam darkened. Their palaces were filled with non-Muslim women, trained to weaken rulers from within. As a result, Crusaders continued to seize Muslim lands, while some Muslim rulers paid them humiliating taxes just to protect their pleasures. Among the most dangerous threats was the secretive sect of Hassan bin Sabah, whose followers were known as Fidais, later called the Assassins. Salahuddin Ayyubi understood that the battle was not only with swords. It was a battle of ideas, intelligence, patience, and character. His sword was powerful, but his mercy, wisdom, and self-control were even stronger.